That's why you have to use the county credit card.
As you said, you're correct. The registration fee is on the county credit card. Airplane, housing is on my personal credit card. And as I said back in January, I believe, that I will reimburse the county for the registration fee.
$500, but you still didn't, and you took another.
It was about
You put another
$1,000.
$400 less in it.
Yeah.
That's why I thought, let me ask, because taxpayers are asking, they're watching government oversight, and they say, Commissioner, can you please follow up if it is reimbursed? I say I will. So I make a phone call and check it out.
So basically, you don't trust what I had to say? That when I reported that my expenses would be reimbursed to the county?
You said it would be reimbursed, I didn't see anything, and then I see you put another $400 again for registration fee, and I didn't see anything if it comes back or not. And if I ask something, you always deny everything. If I bring certain things up, like you said,
Okay.
oh, I don't know, or you deny. And like I said, the NACO said they accept any personal credit card. The registrations fee, NACO are usually paid with personal credit cards. So it doesn't have to be on a county credit card as you reported at a meeting, that NACO only take county credit cards. That's not correct.
Do you have a problem in using the county credit card for registration? Is that what you're saying?
You said you used the county
did.
credit card, and you said you're going to reimburse it. And
I
it is
will.
already beginning of the year, there's no penny coming in, and you take another $400, and now we're here that it is actually, they cover it partially, and then it will be personal responsibility. So why would you even in the first place use the county credit card then? Because if they reimburse you like $200, you can leave that for the county. So I don't know.
Okay.
It's difficult to go into track down now.
Let's see
You
if we
get
can-
partially reimbursed and then that not. And the NACO said they accept personal credit cards. I find it strange when
Are
you
you all
reported
done?
that.
Are you all done?
Yeah,
Okay. You're correct. I have $4,000 expense account to go to these meetings. Right now, you've said I got $500 and another $400. That's only $1,000.
yeah.
Okay, and I got $4,000, so.
Yeah, I know, but then you said they need to cover also your travel, and what are they covering, hotel, maybe meals, and you told the other day, the beginning, a couple months ago, that you're going to all those meetings, you have to go so many times than what they pay. That $4,000 will be going fast.
Well, I guess that's up to
The
me. Once that-
regulation free 2 times is already 900. We don't even put the travel in, the hotels and the meals.
That
And
I
you're going-
paid for myself.
And you're going so many times.
Anyway,
If you pay that for yourself and you have $4,000 left there at the New Hampshire Association, why didn't they pay for the $900 registration fee then, if you pay the other thing for yourself? So I don't get that part.
well, I don't think we have to worry about it. It will be reimbursed. And you found out that I have 4,000, so. Enough said. Mr. Babson,
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, in the many times that I've gone over this statements for the credit cards, and you've used the county credit card, I've always found at one point or another you've reimbursed them. And to leave the impression that you haven't or you delay is just wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
We're not gonna get into any more of the
Yeah, no, we're not getting in it, but I want to
We've already
say,
talked about it. We
Yeah.
already said what's gonna happen.
one only thing I want to say, the NACO said that they accept personal credit cards.
NACO has no say in anything. I can use,
But you said that the NACO is not accepting personal credit card. That's why you have to use the county credit card. It's on tape. That is what you said.
that's exactly right. I tried
Yeah,
to do it on my home
that
computer.
is what you said,
and
that they
wouldn't
don't
accept it.
accept that, but they do. That is what it's getting all about.
I don't know what difference does it make. It's gonna be reimbursed anyway.
Make a difference
Okay, we
because
got
you
it.
said something,
Do you have anything
but
else
it's
to
not
report?
correct.
Jess, did you want to talk about that?
Yes. You checked into the pellet supplier
Yes,
last week, and you reported that you had called the references and that you hadn't gotten any return calls.
Yeah, they did call me
And
back.
from
They
what I
left, they
find
left
out-
a message
Could
for
could I
me.
speak, and then I'll let you speak?
Oh, okay.
And then somebody checked on it and found out that you called at 5 o'clock in the afternoon when everybody's gone, so you didn't have anybody to talk to. We have since checked the references. I called one, and she said that the CEO wasn't there, but she was sure that they are a reputable firm, would agree to their contract, and but she said, I'll have the CEO call me, and I said, have him call the office. He did call later that day, talked to Kathy Gary, and recommended that they've had very good success with that company, and would recommend that we go ahead with that contract. Now it's your turn.
Yes, thank you. I don't know how late I called. I make a couple phone calls, and after a couple days, they did left a message on my voicemail. So I received the message from the companies that I called. Sandry put only in 3 references, so that is the only 3 places what I called, and they left a message on my voicemail. I believe 2 of them. So I don't know what your point is,
Well,
what
what's-
you want to bring up.
What was the message?
Yeah, what was the result of your
That they
messages?
that they do business with them.
Are they still doing business?
Yeah, I believe they still do business with them. I was asking if they're doing business with them, and about the wood pallets and the delivery, and they say yes to it.
So since,
And I was talking last week at a Wednesday meeting, so they called me last week, so there was no meeting, so I couldn't report that they called me. So you should let me speak first, then I could say that I get that voicemail.
Well,
we had a meeting last week
Yeah, but they didn't call me. I
prior to that.
reported it that I didn't heard anything back,
Okay.
and when I heard it back, it was after the meeting.
Okay,
They left a voicemail, so
given that,
that's why I was going to tell you today that I heard from them, they left a message for
I
me.
called them yesterday, and they called me right back yesterday, so.
given that, then are your objections still remaining to signing that?
Well, this is for 1 year, that is what he said, so I think,
Bob, we're talking about the contract with,
The pellet system,
for the pellet,
pellet boilers, the pellets.
pellet contract with that company.
this is for 1 year.
And?
So I think we can try them for 1 year.
Okay.
Do I hear a motion?
I move that we accept the contract from Sandry.
I'll second it. Any further discussion on the contract for the pellets? Hearing none, all those in support of the motion say aye.
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 And I had a
So
question.
voted.
We have no numbers on it, huh? So we don't have to put any money thing in it? Or
Wait a
are we
minute.
going by the
Hold
ton?
on, hold on.
Are we
$200
going by
a
the
ton. $200 a ton.
400 tons.
Okay, so we're going to put in,
$200
was
a
it
ton.
$210?
Here, here it is.
200.
$200 a ton.
I also found out that
Yes.
Tractor Supply out here on Route 16, you can buy it for $200 a ton. As
In
long
bags.
As long as you buy it, yeah, it's in bags, and you buy a whole pallet full at a time.
200 bags, 200
That's close
tons
by.
of bags, I don't think so.
We're not gonna do bags.
What's that?
We're not gonna do bags. This is.
You can't lift the bags that high to put it into the hopper?
400, there's 50 bags on a pallet, which is a ton, so 50 times 400, how many bags is that?
$200 a ton. And we need 4 ton, huh? 400 ton is that?
The question that was raised last week, I believe, was that if we don't use a 400 ton, we only get charged for what we use. If we go over 400 ton, it's just at the same rate.
You're ready for
Correct.
the C.
No penalties for overages or underages. Which is good, because then it'll give us an idea of what we use after the first year. We have to change the target for next year.
Okay. You got something to talk about today, other
No,
than
that's what I
that
wanted
was
to
it?
come up here for, yeah, just to finalize
Oh.
this.
Okay.
Have you conducted your tour?
No, Shel.
Okay, thank you.
He's not due until 10 o'clock, right?
Yeah, but he was going
Is
to.
that the original?
This is yours.
If
Well,
this is a
it says
copy,
it's
copy on
a
it.
copy.
You have the original, I think. I handed out copies
and
with one original.
probably down on my desk.
All right.
Okay.
But we signed this, so what, then,
Right now, that's a signed
That's fine,
copy.
that'll work. Would you hand it to me, please?
Yes.
Do we have to pay mass tax on
Thank you.
this?
What's that?
Massachusetts sales tax on this?
No.
I don't
This
think
product
so.
is being delivered to New
because
Hampshire.
it's come into New Hampshire.
Doesn't
If
matter
we
where.
went down there and got it, we'd have to.
No, you're not going there.
No, we're not going. Is there anything for me?
No, how's the furnaces running?
It's running great.
Nobody's complaining about lack of hot water? And it's fully on the pellet furnace and not on any propane?
We haven't burned propane in 3 weeks.
3 week, good. I noticed they delivered a whole load this morning.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Bob.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Because the kitchen still works on propane.
True, right.
Okay, so we're,
We're just waiting for Jason.
Jason's late too,
Jason's at 10.
which means we're going to have a
10:30?
problem.
Is it 10:30?
No, Jason is supposed to be here at 9:15. Gonna have a problem.
How come we get different?
Oh,
what do you
I
got for agenda?
I don't have an agenda. I can run down to get one.
Oh, okay, I have different ones, okay, that's.
Commander's supposed to be here at 10 o'clock.
Right.
Which is about less than 20 minutes from now. Mr. Babson?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Would you entertain taking some public input questions at this time?
I think we could do that, yes.
Number one, I think it would be beneficial to all of us here if perhaps you might change your procedures, and after somebody's here and reported, whether it be Sandy or Jason or Bob, that you allow the public to ask questions. I've now got 8 questions here that I would have liked to ask Sandy had we had the opportunity at the end of the.
Could you submit those questions? And we'll
Pardon
get the
me?
ans- Could you submit those questions and we'll get the
No, I
answers
just
for
soon
you?
ask them.
Go ahead.
She mentioned that they had one person or two on 5-day hospital leave, or whatever they call it when they go over to the hospital.
Two
Medical
people.
leave, I think she called
Two
it.
people.
Patient.
2 people.
My
These are
question,
residents you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
my question is, the individual goes to the hospital, and if they're on, I can never remember whether it's Medicaid or Medicare, but one of those two. They're paying for us for that room here at the, I'm asking the chairman,
Mhm.
Mr. Mahoney.
Maloney.
We're holding their bed for them.
Yes,
Yeah.
and do we get a full day's pay for that? If we're holding
question.
the,
I think the
I assume we do.
I think
and
we
then the
can
next
hold
question
5
is,
days.
then who pays the hospital?
That's
Or is the
Medicare.
government paying twice?
I don't believe that's happening.
I don't think so either, but how does that work? Do they
Okay.
pay us for the room and then we turn around and pay the hospital?
Well, I don't know, I'm just wondering.
It's just my question.
I know, and I
don't
just have a
that.
question, I just have a possibility here, possible answer. If they are on Medicaid for the room rate at the nursing home, the hospital would come out of Medicare, which are 2 different issues.
Okay. So either way you cut the mustard, they're paying twice. They're
Well,
paying
the
one, they're
state is
paying
one
one
and the
system
feds are the other.
for the hospital and one for here.
But that would happen under any condition, whether it was a person in a nursing home who was on Medicaid or a person who was, well, I guess it wouldn't happen in terms of rooms per day. But if you were on Medicaid and you were a senior on Medicare and you had to go to the hospital, you would still get your monthly Medicaid reimbursement, whatever that might be, and you would also get taken care of at the hospital under Medicare. Do you follow what I'm saying?
We'll
Yes,
check, we'll
it
check
just
on it.
seems to me that there got to be a better way. The next question was about 8 months ago or 6 months ago during the budget process. I asked Sandy how many days under family leave, the Federal Family Leave Act, were taken. Because we have to either give them the days without pay, or as she stated, or someone did along the line, that a lot of the women take their sick days and they take their vacation days, but we still have to pay somebody else to come in and do that job.
Right, that's
And
right.
that was when
You
I
wanna know
was
the number of
arguing with
days?
Representative McCarthy about the high rates, that, you gotta consider that you've gotta pay, even if we're paying them, we still have to bring someone in to fill the
Yep.
job.
Yep.
And I know, Sandy, as I recall, said that was she had that figure and could easily get it.
Okay.
I didn't see it. And the web backup, who is liable, or what is the loss liability if this information is out there in the clouds and it's lost? What, do they have a backup for the backup, or what happened?
Well, we have the original, and then we have that backup.
What happens
That's
if the
it.
backup, what happens if we go down and then the backup goes down?
Well, we got a problem.
Does Barracuda in any way reimburse you for the liability, or what happens? The next question I had, why, I would think that the backup tapes, and I really don't know much about computers, but I would think the backup tapes would be something you could buy from any wholesaler or retailer. Why are the IT people buying it and giving it to us?
I think the case of the tapes, I think the instrument that records it is broken, not the tape itself.
No, but I'm asking, she testified that they buy their tapes from, the IT from, and I know he's a very nice person, but I can't help but think that he's making a profit on it. Why don't we buy them ourselves? There must be some quantity to them. The next question. Commissioner Solomon, you said that in looking around for the dialysis place, that Ossipee and Conway were the only two with water and sewer. Wolfboro has a big plant.
I know they do, but
I can't
again,
blame Wolfboro.
it doesn't. Again, it was not up to us. That is the commission here. This is a private
Private.
company
Mhm.
who's.
Oh, I
subject-
understand that, Dottie, but when they gave you that information, didn't anybody say, well, what about Wolfboro or Moultonboro
I don't know.
or Wakefield?
I think what happened is that
They
they
wouldn't
have
do it in
one in
Wakefield.
Laconia and they have one in Rochester or
Yeah.
Dover.
Yeah, they
And
wouldn't
they
do it.
wanted to
those-
get further
Okay.
north. The next one is up in Littleton.
Okay. And the last question is, why, when we send you away to these organizational things, David, why shouldn't the taxpayers or the county, you represent us, why should you have to pay it personally? You're not going down for fun and games.
We have in our budget.
Education and conference, that's why.
We have
that
education
line.
and conferences, and that's where the registration fee for the Pittsburgh meeting that's coming up in July will be taken out of their registration fee.
Well, I guess my
I'm gonna
question
use-
is, why should you have to pay for anything personal?
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use up that $4,000 that they gave me for the New Hampshire Association of Counties, because I'm the president of that
Right.
group. So they're gonna be paying that. Once that's used up, then I'll take it out of the registration of education and conferences.
So after that's used up and you're going somewhere else for...
No, I'm not
for
going
the
anyplace else.
For the organization, they don't pick up your tab?
They'll pick up $4,000 of it.
That's New Hampshire, but you're
Yep.
president of, oh, they're sending you as president of the
New
New Hampshire. I
Hampshire.
was thinking it was
Right.
the national one,
No.
okay.
No,
Okay, thank you.
David.
Just to follow up, the $900 you're talking about, was that for Washington DC?
No, there was two, one for Washington DC and one for Santa Fe.
Okay. And just to be clear, you paid for your hotel and your airplane?
Yep.
And that didn't
Yeah.
come from the county at all?
No, none of that's gonna come from the county. I need to put in my expense account to the New Hampshire Association of Counties. They will reimburse me, and it's a question whether they'll write out a check to the county for my registration fees, or if they send it all to me and I make out a check to the county, that's how it would be handled.
And when were these conferences?
Excuse me?
When were the conferences? How long?
One was in February and one was, in May.
Do you know which one was which?
The one in Santa Fe was in May.
Okay.
Are you done? Can I follow up? I have a couple of questions. You said when you use up the $4,000, you take it out of education and conference. I think it is wrong. That money is for the board, it's for all 3 commissioners. When I asked last year to go to one of these NACOs, you said, no, you can't go because it costs too much money. The taxpayers don't elected you as president of the New Hampshire Association. They elected you for county commissioner. And that money should be used as a county commissioner. You are going there as president of the New Hampshire Association. And as Betsy Miller said, she said that they're paying for you the hotel and the travel. That is paid. So I don't know what you said, your person pay for it. She said that will be reimbursed up to $4,000. But the NACO registration fee is not. It's maybe partially. And it has to come then out of your personal account. You cannot take money from the county commissioners. That is for us. That is for education and conferences. So we go into the workshop and things. So I think it is wrong that after the $4,000 is left, that you're planning to take it out from there. First you put it on a credit card, and now you said you take it out of the line of education and conferences. And I think that is why you put it on the county credit card, because that is what you were trying to do. And she said, no, if that money is gone, it's personal. It needs to come from your personal account. I don't think it has anything to do with us. So now you're taking up all the money. You're going every time as the president of the New Hampshire Association to these events, and I or we, the other commissioners, cannot go nowhere. The other counties don't do it like that. Education and conferences, a lot of commissioners are going, and a lot of newly elected commissioners are going. So I think that is wrong, that you use that money for yourself.
Anything else?
That's it for now.
Okay. Anybody else got any comment? Yes, Jack.
On this item of tape backup, I would find it highly strange that a tape drive is not available on the aftermarket. It'd be more secure to replace the tape drive until at such time you're going to replace the server.
Right.
And keep that data in-house, rather than using an online backup. I would feel that there's a possibility of loss of security of that data.
Mhm.
Whereas I can't imagine that a tape drive for the server could be that expensive, and I'm sure there's one available, because you can buy almost anything on the aftermarket. So my comment would be to first look for a replacement drive,
Yeah.
and that should have been done immediately. I can't imagine when the tape drive went down, she said she thinks around May 26th or something like that.
Mhm.
Why a tape drive it wasn't investigated, that a tape drive is available at that time, and just remedy the situation.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I think they're talking about replacing
Because you said the server.
the server next
Yeah, I
year,
know they are,
and then that would be
but right now,
part of
we have,
that.
we have a
For a
backup.
temporary fix.
Yeah, put another tape drive in there.
Yeah,
And because if it's been working for, I don't know how long we've had that server, but they've been using the tape drive
Mhm.
ever since they bought it or it was purchased.
okay.
So that would be my comment, in order to
Okay,
remedy the
good comment.
situation immediately, would be to get them, put a tape drive in there. I question the security of taking data which is secured and putting it on the internet.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Anybody else? I don't know where Jason's. Ed?
Jason's not due until
First, a
10:30.
tape drive is 1970s technology, so we should stop calling it a tape drive. And I'm sure there are other options to back up. You can buy a 2 terabyte hard drive for a few $100s and
Yeah,
attach it
plug
to
it
any
in,
computer.
yeah.
And you can secure it with a firewall. I'm sure he can do that temporarily. Now, the online backup is a good idea. If you already have a backup here, it's also good to have another backup somewhere else. So for pricing, once it's set up, and if she exceeds or if they exceed the 250 gigabytes per month, it's not that much more to back up, more stuff. So that's good. My second question would be, for the public, could you basically give an overview of what the New Hampshire Association of Counties is? Is it a non-government organization? Is it a government organization? What is it and what does it do?
Okay. The New Hampshire Association of Counties is a organization made up of all the county commissioners in the state, and then they have a board that is representatives from each of the counties, and that could be as many as, let's see, 10 counties times could be about 80 people on that executive board. I get confused with that. The executive board normally is made up of officers. In the case of the New Hampshire Association, it's just the opposite. We have a board of officers that meets prior to the normal meeting, monthly meeting.
It's the executive board.
What's that?
Executive board.
Well, it's not called the executive board. It's just the board of the officers. And the board of officers reports to the full executive board made up of 8 or 10 people from each county. Okay?
Do you know who started this? Like the American, like planners across the world started the Global Planners Network. They started the
No,
American
I don't know
Planning
who
Association.
started it. It's been in existence for many, many years. Brenda Presby, Marge Webster, they were both members of it. They attended all of the annual meetings. And I won't go any further.
So is it like the New Hampshire Association of Architects? So it's a non-government organization, correct?
It's made up of government personnel, no?
What's that?
It's made up of government people. but
Yeah, it's made up of not only elected officials, but also or appointed officials. For example, Sandy McKenzie is a member. Jason Johnson is a member.
I
I
guess
can't
what-
think of some of the others right offhand, but there are several members of it. So it's appointed members as well as elected officials.
Do you practice?
The elected officials, the commissioners, are responsible for the budget and financing of it.
Do you
Okay?
pay membership dues?
We pay membership dues, correct. And for those membership dues, we have a program where people can purchase drugs if they don't have any insurance. In fact, I read off the figures a week or two ago on the savings of county taxpayers in Carroll County, roughly $5,000-6,000 a year, a month, I'm sorry, that they're saving. So it's a lot of money that through the membership of the New Hampshire Association and also through the membership of the NACO, we're saving that money for taxpayers. It's well worth it. We're getting more money back than, taxpayers are getting more money back than what we're paying in dues.
Is there any federal involvement with the National Association?
No,